everybody, and welcome to the new episode of Talking Shop, the fly on the wall podcast of the Hazard Productions. This is, in fact, my second episode that I filmed, but the first episode I consider to be a pilot, so that's why it's called Talking Shop Point 5. So this is the actual first episode of Talking Shop. This is Talking Shop episode 1, where we get to talk to one of the coolest guys around. He's my producer on a lot of my shows and movies that I make, and he's probably one of my best friends. He is one of my best friends in the world, Joel Campbell. So I hope you guys enjoy. And recording.
Hello.
Alright, okay everybody, welcome to a new episode of Talking Shop. I am your luxurious sick host, Patrick Simpson, and I'm here with another good friend of mine, Joel Campbell.
Who?
You. You are also known on YouTube as Razak0404. And in my show, Random Hero, and soon to be known as Professor Hero in his show.
If I ever get it off the ground.
If you ever get it off the ground, which I have a feeling you will.
I'm just trying to find time.
Yeah. But basically, we're doing another episode. For anybody who knows. For anybody who doesn't know what Talking Shop is, basically it's just where I bring some interesting fellow in to talk with me and we talk shop. We should also mention this is the second Talking Shop, so let's gonna start out. How are you, sir? How are you?
I'm fine. We've recently graduated,
yeah.
So that's kind of a big
Graduated from the School of Visual Arts from college. We're both now college graduates in the real world.
Holy crap.
Yeah, you have a job. I don't. We're currently both shacked up at my girlfriend's place for the time being. I'm going to be here longer than you are.
I'm hopefully going to get a raise tomorrow, and
we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens, and then hopefully
let's talk about how long we've known each other. We've known each other for about, what would you say, like?
The first time that we officially met was right before Kick-Ass screening premiere at SVA in freshman year.
Did we? Because I thought we met like a couple of days before that when you were dressed up like Marty McFly.
Oh, correction. A first official meeting was at Halloween when I was dressed up as Doctor Who and you came as Patrick Hazard Ghostbuster thingy.
No, I just came as a Ghostbuster. Yeah. I had not gotten Kenny Floghorn's character down at that point. For anybody who doesn't know what Kenny Floghorn is, it was an old...
See the YouTube.
Yeah, just look at my links, look for Last Ghostbuster, you'll find it.
I'd like to bring that character back, especially with what's supposed to happen in December.
Yeah, that'd be cool. So, yeah, we met each other, it was freshman year, and I hadn't gotten into Doctor Who yet at that point, and then I started to talk to you about it after I had gotten into it, I would say about 3 months after. Mm-hmm. But me and you just sort of forged this mighty friendship within this 4 years that we've been going together, and you've become sort of my producer on a lot of my things. Mm-hmm. You helped me produce my student film for senior year.
I've line produced 3 of your student films now.
You've line produced 3 of my student films. You've helped me edit 1 of my student films. Mm-hmm. You've done visual effects for 2 of my student films, and yeah, you just overall been the other half to the Hazard Productions team. If there ever was a Hazard Productions, it really is just me. But this guy's the guy behind the scenes. He's helped out a lot. So let's start talking about how you started with your editing and line producing. So, like, what started you on this path for making films and videos?
Well, back when I was 5 years old, down living in Florida, I used to hang out with my grandparents all the time. He had a video camera, and I am a huge, huge Indiana Jones fan, as you will eventually see when Professor Hero comes around.
Right.
And with that, I always just wanted to make a movie every single time I went over. It started from there. Then I eventually inherited the camera from him few years later, I got my first computer, which had editing software on it, Windows Movie Maker, not the greatest, but still the beginning. Then went to broadcast.
Everyone starts off on
Windows Movie Maker. Except for some of the youngins today who have Final Cut X.
No, please stop.
Yeah. Anywho, so that's basically where it started. I graduated high school, went into broadcast communications at my local community college. While the electronic field production was fun for like commercials and whatnot, really wasn't quite what I wanted to do. It was close, but wasn't. Took a year off, applied to film school, and here I sit today.
And you've gone through the 4 years of film school, and what would you say you are going to be producing?
Producer basically is the person who does all the talking with not negotiating money.
Well, what would you say your major is? What if you officially?
My official major is editing. My major is editing with a minor in visual effects in After Effects and motion graphics and line producing. Line producing is basically the person who schedules and budgets stuff, for those of you who don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. But you, like I said, so you've been doing this visual effects works, and you started a lot later, or not later. You started a lot earlier than me with the visual effects
yes,
stuff.
I got After Effects when I was younger.
Or you got you got
air quotations.
Air
I got
quotations.
After Effects when I was younger.
You and Patrick Gibney got a lot of your stuff, air quotations, a lot earlier than me.
I basically just started watching that Ryan guy, I don't know his last name, who started doing lightsabers for Star Wars. And basically I started learning how to do that. From there,
Ryan Conley?
No. I don't know if it was Ryan Conley, but the guy who started the huge fan film craze with the lightsabers. That's that's where I got started with it. So I started with the lightsabers. You probably can still find footage of that somewhere.
Yeah.
Which embarrassed me. From there, I went on to like Freddy vs. the Ghostbusters by Hank Braxton.
Now I know that one.
Yes. And so I basically sat down and I'm like, how can I do that in After Effects? So I perfected how to do a ghost stream, and I got into some 3D animation software, 3D Studio Max, because I was still on Windows at the time. And I had this little ghost puppet thing fly around where I used to work at McDonald's, because I used to do overnight shifts.
Right.
And just got to film whenever I didn't have an order, and I'm still in the process of putting that together with that footage, but it's very hokey and very cheesy, and maybe I'll see light someday.
I would like to see that, because I've seen some of the test footage that you did with it, and it was really well done. And I also have to say that the Joel Stoner show,
yes,
which was like your old vlog show, I started watching that on Facebook a couple of...
Yes, it started out... The whole point behind the Stoner Show was because of the overnight shifts at McDonald's.
Right.
I was exhausted. I used to get up the next day and just do a quick little vamp.
Right.
And that was that.
And you also, like, you would do vlogs on, like, trips and stuff like that, and
mm-hmm.
you would also...
And it evolved from there.
Yeah, and you did a lot of visual effects work, and you also do... I'm putting air quotes, stunt driving with
my former car.
Yeah, your ferret. Or whatever it was.
My
called.
rabbit.
Yeah, your
Harvey the rabbit. If anybody gets that, good on you.
Yeah. And a lot of these videos and stuff like that, you did way back when, like mid-2000s to early 2000s?
2008 through 2009, I shot all those. 2008
to 2009.
So this was like really before I knew how to do any like serious visual effects work.
Right. And then go back to your earliest memory of film. Like, have you been a fan of film for the longest time, or do you just?
Oh, yes. I've been a fan of film ever since I was a young boy. Mm-hmm. Going back to Florida again. I wanted to be a stuntman initially, and be in the Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular.
Oh, right, I heard about that. And didn't you apply for that down when you were in Florida still? When you were?
No, I did not apply. Unfortunately, I cannot apply due to the fact that I'm only 5'7", and at least to be considered, you have to be 5'9" to 6 something. So
really, for Indiana Jones?
Yeah, and I have a full costume that's going to waste because of it.
Nah, please. So, let's talk a little bit about your work you did with me.
Mm-hmm.
So, our first short that we ever really did together was
the Back to the Future anniversary video.
Yeah. And you helped me film it, and you had your Marty McFly costume together. We actually didn't end up going to the
I
screening.
did.
Yeah,
I got
you
to
did.
go.
I didn't. And I mean, what I've been noticing something. You build a lot of your own. I would say that you.
I am a cosplayer.
Yeah, you successfully have movie cosplays down to a science at some cases. Like, what started you on the whole cosplaying thing?
I honestly don't know. I just like dressing up. I just wanted to have very, very good movie costumes for Halloween. And I'm a huge movie buff. It started with Men in Black, and Back to the Future, and Indiana Jones was the cornerstone. And like as soon as I got that down pat, and yeah, I don't know, maybe you can put a photo up now of showing my complete Indiana Jones Raiders costume, but that is my crown glory. But behind the Doctor Who costume, which I'm still going through revisions and fixing. But yeah, here's the real key behind that. I did a show. It was for my friends Brian Cardillo and Kiefer Moskalou. Great guys. Went through high school with them. I helped them on their senior project in Pennsylvania. They wrote a play to show, and it was about all these movie characters who were trapped on a boat together, and it's a murder mystery, interactive type thing.
Right.
But the thing was, they had Darth Vader, they had a stormtrooper, they had Laura Croft, they had Dorothy. And I became property master and also videographer for that.
Oh, very nice.
So I need to track down stormtrooper costumes, track down the FX lightsabers, which were really tough to get back then because they had just come out and it was like a big, big deal.
The Force of X lightsabers?
You know the kind of the expensive version of the lightsaber you have.
The expensive version that I have. Okay, that makes sense.
All chrome plated and everything beautiful.
Right.
So I had to track all that stuff down. And so I had a stormtrooper helmet, and I need an Indiana Jones costume. I'm like, okay, well, here's my Indiana Jones costume. What I've got so far. I have to do this anyway. I graduated from high school. Let's build upon it. So I built the Indiana Jones costume up from there, and then after that came Marty McFly and Men in Black and Doctor Who.
Yeah, Doctor Who was your last one. Do you have any plans to make any other ones?
As you know, I'm a huge peppercorn.
Right.
I have the patience for it.
Yeah, I don't.
I slap up another photo. You can see an awesome ODST helmet I made for him.
If I have the photo, I don't know if I have
well, you
the
can
photo.
grab it from my Facebook.
Yeah.
It's on there. But no, my next goal is to, as soon as I set up shop wherever, to continue to get that water-based cast.
Oh, okay.
Because the other resin is crap. I
Right.
swear. I'm going to have Mom throw it out as soon as she can.
Is that the resin that you covered in your UNC helmet?
My marine helmet.
Because
that's the water resin. That's the safe resin.
Is that the safe resin? Because it looks all craggy and stuff.
No. It's water based, so it's more of like a plaster Paris almost. But it's a resin, so it's gonna be tougher and stronger.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Game of Thrones.
Right, we have the TV on right now. We have swamp people going in the background.
Swamp people. God, I love me some Cajun food.
Right. Plug for swamp people. I've never watched the show fully, but All right, so
it's addicting. But I want to complete a complete marine costume from Halo 3 because I thought the lines on that were like the lines on the helmet alone are just gorgeous.
The marine costume, sir. You're gonna also build the chest piece and the
I have the chest piece. I tried doing that one in resin. Not the best day I picked to start that. I picked the hottest day of 2011. It was 2011 because we're in 13 now. It was when that heat dome bubble was over the
city.
Well, not New York City, but Pennsylvania. It was like
right.
I went out. I started mixing everything together. It says it's going to take like 10 to 15 minutes to set.
Oh, right, I remember
It started setting within 5 minutes.
Oh, shit.
I'm like, holy crap. So
and that was just because
I was like, okay, fuck this. And because I was wearing a respirator, eye protection, and everything, I said, fuck this. I'm gonna go back, start again, get the proper safe water resin, and I sell my Bondo, so.
Oh, okay.
That's good. So I can at least Bondo and then gray paint everything. And
right.
From there.
Well, it's still kind of crackly, isn't it?
Well, yeah, and that's because I haven't, sanded it. And
okay.
I have, because I've been, it's tough to do when you're going
right.
to school full time, so.
No, I hear you.
But yeah, one of the prop people who I follow.
You just, gonna pause. So, you were following a prop guy?
Yes. One of the guys on Facebook I follow is Stony Props, and they have some very, very nice, well done helmets. And through one of them, not officially them, but through one of them, there's a guy selling Halo SMGs. No, not SMGs. I'm sorry. The Halo 3 ODST pistol kits.
Oh, okay.
The silence version. I love that pistol.
I like that pistol too. Actually, I follow Velopin Props.
Okay.
Who's most notably known for the guy who does he does the helmets for Daft Punk. He does like the prop helmets for Daft Punk, and he's the guy who makes a lot of the Half-Life guns. And he always has something new that he contributes to the Child's Play. Like he's a master props maker in like the gun aspect of it.
Yeah.
And it's always fascinating to watch his process because it's like a step-by-step process of like wood blocking and carving and like rubber molds and all this stuff that's like crazy.
Another guy I follow is Andrew Cook, and he's the frontline trooper on Facebook and YouTube, and he does the styrofoam.
Oh, he does the heat gun forming?
No, not heat gun forming. He literally carves out of the styrofoam blocks.
Oh, jeez.
Like the good insulation styrofoam that's, really thick, which I have a few blocks now. I've been trying to do it myself. I'm like, fuck this. Just give me a heat cutting board.
Right.
Because some of it's really difficult, but I'm learning and watching from him, and hopefully I can do a really nice one from that.
Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. Mm-hmm. So, now that we're acclimated, I guess, let us talk a little bit more about your and I collaboration together. So, like you said, the first collaboration together that we had was the
BTTF.
The BTTF anniversary video. What was the next video that you and I collaborated on?
That's a good question.
Because I'm trying to look back, and I said, like.
You handed that one in. Oh, also your 16mm project.
Oh, right, the 16mm project, Dreamscape, which you can see online. Dreamscape was that actually you can also see the helmet being made for the helmet because he was wearing the helmet. That was just I don't really count that as being a project you and I worked on. Is I just like, hey Joel, I need you to act in something, so you acted in something.
I also loaded the film for you because you were getting frustrated with it.
I was doing something wrong because I know it's P9, but I can't get that correct sometimes. I get dyslexic with that camera.
Darn you, Airy Cam!
Never gonna have to use it again. Though they were selling them for, I think, $1,400.
That's not bad.
No, it's not
for
bad.
Airy S.
And that included like the battery belt.
Yeah, but you still had to buy the lens kit. Okay, included the lens kit?
This was the school selling it.
Yeah,
so it was the full kit.
Oh, damn. We should get on one when we have the chance.
No, I'm not paying $1,400 for 16mm. Where the fuck? It's expensive. And where the hell would I show it? I don't have a 16mm projector.
eBay.
Yeah, I guess. So then,
after Dreamscape, it would have been Hazard issue 1.
Issue 1, it was
Accidental Hero.
Was it Accidental Hero?
You did your 16mm. You did your BTTF.
Then it was Accidental Hero. Accidental Hero. Issue 1. That's right. Issue 1. Accidental Hero. Hazard Guy. Brought you out to New Jersey for that. You got deathly ill.
I got strep throat.
The first weekend.
And that was. Plus, I was going through a bad shit ton stuff.
Yeah.
So
we won't go into that. You were.
But yeah.
Yeah.
And it was my birthday weekend too. So strep throat.
Yeah.
On your birthday. Fuck.
I apologize. I didn't mean to get you sick.
Hey! I think of it this way. I got Arby's.
Yeah, that's true. You got Arby's.
I was on an Arby fit. I'm like, give me Arby's, damn it, and I'll get through this.
Yep. So yeah, and then we got you to act in the movie as well, and you played Blake, and nothing ever came of that. That was supposed to be a
Test run.
Test run of the concept of Hazard Guy and stuff like that, because I had seen Kick-Ass the year before, and there was a whole bunch of other things, and I was obsessed with it. And then nothing really came of it, and I was like, man, I should have really done something. But, whatever. We're still planning things, but it's being now rewritten by Anthony.
The original writer?
Yeah, the original...
Is he the original writer? Or is
he was the original writer of Hazard Guy and Justice, and his character, and he was the original guy who wrote the first episode of Hazard Guy and Justice. But the Hazard Guy character dates back to...
Comic-Con.
Not Comic-Con.
Before Comic-Con?
Before Comic-Con. No, Comic-Con. Yeah, Comic-Con, that's about it. Freshman year. That's about when it dates back to about then, and then once I saw Kick-Ass, then it started formulating itself into it, and that's where...
I remember first couple of the cuts that you had the Kick-Ass soundtrack in the background.
No, well, that's because it's a good soundtrack. Henry Jackman, a bunch of other people I don't know. Martin Van Vieris, Danny Elfman's actually. He has a track on that track.
Cool.
Yeah. I know these things because I'm a meaningless...
You're a music guy. You're supposed to know. Like, I know films.
Yeah. So then, after that, we worked on... What did we work on after?
After that, we worked on Neverending. That was the big one.
Right. Neverending was the big thing. And that was your project.
That was my project.
And is that being released online anytime soon, or no?
No, because of the SAG actors.
Ooh, who's the SAG actor in the movie?
Both Skylar and Harlan.
Oh, okay. Oh, that makes sense. So we want to
So if you want to see that one, send me an email and I'll send you the Dropbox link.
So do you want to discuss a little bit of what Neverending was?
Well, Neverending was... I have a love of noir. There's just something about the shadows, the imagery, the femme fatale, the detective story. It's just all contained. Plus, I'm a huge Charlie Chan fan. Charlie Chan is one of the most awesomest detectives ever. But it stems from that era. Neverending is a sci-fi neo-noir that is an homage to Doctor Who. And that's basically how it started. It follows a detective who has this huge technological secret that he can't let anybody get their hands on. There's a corrupt mayor who's actually... the epitome of the master type dealy. There's the classic companion who always apparently somehow ends up dead. So
right,
and it crosses Doctor Who, neo noir, Groundhog's Day, all rolled into one.
Right. And you worked on that for how many months did you work on
I
that?
put in a full year on that. I started production. Basically, our teacher that year was good old Ralph Topperoff.
Top Ralph.
He basically said, give me a movie by the end of the year. I'm like, okay. I started in September with finishing up my script. October, I started breaking down, starting putting out casting stuff. November, I sat down, started going through some of the casting stuff. By December, we were cast. We had sets pretty much set. We had some props. And... basically, it went from there. January and February, we shot, giving the actors time in between to read and to sit down and discuss.
Right.
Then all the rest of February, March, and April, I worked my ass off editing and spending nights, like at least a good 3 weeks in the Pro Tools lab to get the audio done. And that was a bitch, because you were around for when that happened.
Yeah, it was.
What happened was I had... pretty much all the sound effects dropped in where I needed to be for this project in Pro Tools. All of a sudden, somehow, I don't know how, the project file was gone.
It was corrupted.
Completely gone from the hard drive.
Right.
And I'm like, what the hell? And I spent another frantic 2 weeks going back and redoing everything that I had done.
Yeah.
Which was just a pain.
And you also helped me that year with my
Battle of the Nexus.
Battle of the Nexus, which is never going to see the light of day.
Though if you want to see it, send him a link. He'll Dropbox it.
I am not going to Dropbox it. I'm not going to release it.
Oh, come on. I worked hard on those effects.
I know you worked hard on those effects, but
I crashed my computer twice.
I'm just not showing the light of day. And also, during these times, you also helped me with Hazard Rants. You were also Random Hero in the I keep saying the fourth episode, but I'm not really quite sure. It was the
Planet of the Apes episode.
So I think that was episode. No, that was episode 4.
Yeah, that was episode 4.
That started the storyline, if you could say it. I'm putting a lot of quotation marks around it, and the reason being was we were shooting at Battery Park. Was it?
It was close to Battery Park. It was not Battery Park. It was like somewhere on the waterfront.
Right. It was on the waterfront, close to the Statue of Liberty, and I just wanted this inside joke for the end of the movie, and I just enjoyed I just was like, hey Joel, just wear your like Doctor Who coat and your Doctor Who clothes and just do this run-in thing, and it just started out as a funny joke, and then as it sort of evolved, I just felt like the character was so cool. It was like, well, he's not really Doctor Who because you're an American in Doctor Who, so I was like, he's just sort of a random hero who just shows up places.
Random hero with a decibel doohickey.
Yep. So you showed up with random hero with a decibel doohickey, and that's kind of just how it turned into. And you would show. I wouldn't say that you showed up regularly on each episode.
I showed up once. I showed up in episode 4. I showed up again when you were versus continuity, where I get zapped out of existence, and that kind of dropped into the Sublet show, which I had full creative control, even though we were releasing it also on your channel, which was Random Hero Goes to Comic-Con, which was something I spent months and months planning.
Months and months planning.
And it came out as best as I felt it could, which was really good.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, the 4 days that you had was insane in New York Comic Con. And we got tired by the third day. Like, we were
I was dead.
Yeah.
I was literally dead.
It was one of the hardest things, and the best part about it is you kind of released it like a week after, which was really
because I spent I got lucky because I spent
time.
the whole summer on my days off from my internship at the time, just working on the intros and some of the
inserts and all that stuff,
so that I literally could just cut footage, drop in, and go.
Right, and that sort of now leads into what your future endeavors are going to be, not with just your online endeavors, but your other endeavors. You currently work for a company, Simba Productions, and you do their editing for their.
I'm the second editor of the company. And their only person who really knows After Effects best.
Which is a pretty good position to be.
Yeah.
And you also are helping. What would you say? Line produce?
I'm temporary line producing. I'm not really. I'm just helping them do the preliminary scheduling and budgeting.
Scheduling and budgeting for
Extra Innings, which is being produced and directed. It's being written and directed by my boss Albert Daba. It's a heartfelt project that he's been spending 10 years writing. So kind of a big deal.
And you can go and support that at which?
You can go to extrainningsmovie.com/support, and you can check out our page. We have our own Indiegogo set up, so that's
Indiegogo and
going on to like August, which is like super longer than normal Indiegogo. So
okay, so that,
and we have innings that you can pledge on.
Right, innings that you can pledge on and get different. What are some of the
higher ones I know? Like one of the, I think, 7th inning or something, you can go to a Yankees game in like a private box.
Ooh, that's
granted
not bad.
You have to shell out possibly, I think it was $1,200 or.
Ooh, okay, so there's
and the top inning is where you can get all like some of the perks from before but we'll also go ahead and produce a video for you from Simba Productions.
Perfect. And then also you're also producing, as you had stated earlier, Professor Heroes.
Random Hero Reviews with Professor Hero.
Yeah,
My little RHR symbol.
Yeah. So, do you want to talk a little bit about what that is and what's going into
Random
that?
Hero Reviews are basically, we know Indiana Jones, we know Doctor Who, we know all, the famous people. What about the people who we hardly ever hear of anymore, like Avatar from Wizards, the cartoon. There's also shoot, I forget.
You had like a full list.
I have a full list. Actually, if you give me a minute, pause it real fast and I'll get it. Okay, so basically, we have the first season schedule here. I'm hopefully going to do one a month if possible.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, the first one is Avatar from Wizards. Miles Kendig from Hopscotch, which is this great spy movie about the CIA person who gets, pretty much put on the desk job when he's been in the field all his life.
Right.
And it's just about him getting back in the field. Great movie. Fillmore from Fillmore.
Now, that's somebody I know.
Lone Star.
It's a Disney show.
Lone Star from Spaceballs. My first big one after that is going to be my 5th episode, which is Juan Rico from Starship Troopers, which I'm going to cover the movies, the book, and the TV show. This is like a huge retrospective that I know tons about. Number 6, Connor McLeod from The Highlander.
Oh, okay.
Ben Gates from National Treasure. Jen from The Dark Crystal. Teresa Doolittle from Jumpin' Jack Flash. T.J. Detweiler from Recess School's Out. And,
or just Recess?
Well, the movie.
Okay.
I figure I could do it contained because it's a great story within it. And then the very last one of that season is Catherine Janeway from Star Trek Voyager.
Oh, okay.
So basically, I'm covering movies and characters
and TV shows
of people who are heroes, but they're somewhat in the background. They're somewhat less known.
They're less known to be heroes.
To be heroes, and how they fit into our culture. How people look up to them, how we can relate to them.
What are the lessons learned from these characters?
Yes.
What are they set as role models and such?
Yeah.
And that's awesome considering, and a lot of people don't know, but Hazard is he's going to be doing a hiatus, unfortunately, until things settle down for my boat. So I'm letting Mr. Random Hero take over until things are much more settled. And even then, I think this is a perfect time to end. But if you want to plug yourself, Joel, now's the time to do it.
How do I plug myself? I've never plugged myself.
Well, just like list off your YouTube, your Facebook, and your not your Facebook, like your profile, like whatever.
You can find my company. It's CIS Unlimited, which stands for not CSI. It's CIS. It has very specific meaning to me. It's Campbell Imagination Studios Unlimited. Because let's face it, imagination is unlimited, and minus one that's extremely out there. You can find that on Facebook. My YouTube is Razak, RAZACK 0404. You can check out my videos, some of my After Effects on there. Definitely the Random Hero Goes to Comic-Con's on there.
And then you can also find him on my channel, which is thehazardchannel.com. He's one of my premier contributors on there, along with Patrick Gibney and a couple of other people who more than likely will show up on this show whenever I get to producing more of this shows. And also, you can see him in the movie that will be releasing next year, which is For Those Who Fight, which is produced by my friend Zenith Will Rule. Other than that, I'm Patrick Hazard Simpson for Talking Shop. This is Talking Shop episode 1.
2.
No, it's 1.
1? Oh, last one was 0?
Last one was 0.5.
0.5. Okay.
Because it was a pilot episode, so I was just like 0.5. So, this is Talking Shop episode 1. And thank you all for listening.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.